So, today we're going to talk about something that secretly controls our financial lives. And no, it's not about complex spreadsheets or picking the right stocks. It's actually all about the stories we tell ourselves and the emotions that are quietly pulling all the strings.
I mean, think about it. We're always told that getting good with money is a numbers game, right? You just learn the formulas, you track every single penny, and poof, you'll be wealthy. But what if that's not even close to the whole story? What if the most critical factor has nothing to do with how good you are at math?
Well, it turns out the research is pretty clear on this. Doing well with money has way less to do with your IQ and a whole lot more to do with your EQ, your emotional intelligence. Honestly, it's not about how smart you are, it's about how you behave and how you handle your emotions when things get messy.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. Most of us, and I mean most of us, think that if we just had a bigger paycheck, all our money problems would just vanish. But the real issue? It's almost never the number on that paycheck. The real problem is our programming. You see, we are all hardwired for survival. It's in our DNA. We instinctively chase comfort, safety, and status, and believe me, our financial decisions totally reflect that. For so many of us, it's not really a money problem at all. It's a behavior problem and is rooted in these really deep-seated instincts.
So, let's take a look at that hidden engine running inside our heads. Our brains, well, they evolved to handle immediate, clear threats, like a lion on the savannah, not the wild, abstract ups and downs of the stock market. And this mismatch, it leads to some very predictable and often very expensive emotional reactions.
And the scale of this is just staggering. Studies actually show that a full 80% of our financial decisions are driven by emotion. Think about it. When the market is soaring, greed kicks in. When it's tanking, fear completely takes over. Our choices often have less to do with the actual data and way more to do with the chemical cocktail rushing through our brains. And you know, one of the biggest emotional drivers here is a powerful bias called loss aversion. It's a really simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. The pain you feel from losing something is way more intense than the pleasure you feel from gaining the exact same thing. And this chart just nails the concept. The pain of losing $100 feels about twice as bad as the joy of finding $100 feels good. This is exactly why people panic and sell all their investments during a market downturn. They lock in their losses because the fear is so overwhelming, even when logic is screaming at them to just hold on. So, where do these knee-jerk emotional reactions even come from? Well, they often come from a personal financial blueprint, one that was written for us long before we ever earned our first dollar. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called our money script. It's basically the collection of all the beliefs we soaked up as kids from our parents, our friends, and just the culture around us. You can think of these scripts as the operating system for your financial life. They're just running in the background, shaping every single decision you make about spending, saving, and investing. Do any of these sound, a little familiar? If you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, you might feel a pang of guilt every time you spend on something that isn't an absolute necessity. If you secretly believe rich people are greedy, you could be subconsciously sabotaging your own success to avoid becoming one of them. Figuring out your personal script is the absolute first step to rewriting it. Now, these scripts, they leave us really vulnerable to some universal psychological traps. These are mental roadblocks that can derail even the best-laid financial plans. So let's look at a few of the biggest ones we all fall into. All right, let's break down 3 of the most powerful traps out there: the constant pressure of social comparison, the powerful lure of instant gratification, and that big one we just talked about, loss aversion. First up, social comparison. Oh man, you're scrolling through your phone, you see the amazing vacations, the new cars, the perfect homes, and you immediately feel like you're falling behind. You have to remember, you are always comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to someone else's highlight reel. Chasing that kind of validation is the fastest way to kill your own contentment and your bank account. Next, we've got the siren song of instant gratification. Our brains are literally wired to want pleasure right now instead of a bigger reward later. Spending feels exciting, right? While saving can feel like a sacrifice. But here's the trick. You have to reframe it. You're not losing money today. You are buying freedom for your future self. Okay, we've talked about the problems, the programming, and the traps. Now for the good part. Let's talk about the solution. How do we actually build a true wealth mindset? How do we rewrite our own story? It all starts by really, truly embracing this idea from author Morgan Housel.
Just let that one sink in for a second. Success isn't about being a genius. It's about building discipline, patience, and self-awareness. It all comes down to your behavior.
And here it is, the ultimate mindset shift. You have to stop focusing on short-term outcomes, like getting a raise or a bonus. Instead, start focusing on long-term habits. You have to shift your core question from, what can I buy with this money right now, to, how can this money start working for me for the long run?
So, what can you actually do, like starting today? Here are 3 real concrete steps. First, track your triggers. Just for 1 week, notice when you feel that urge for emotional spending. Is it when you're bored, stressed? Is it social pressure? Don't judge it, just observe it. Awareness is always the first step to control. Second, set meaningful goals. Forget what you're seeing on Instagram. What does wealth actually mean to you? Is it freedom from the 9-to-5? Is it security for your family? The ability to chase a passion project? Get really specific, because a goal without a why behind it has absolutely no power. And third, and this one is huge, build a system to automate your discipline. Set up automatic transfers for your savings and investments so the money is gone before you can even think about touching it. This is the single best way to protect your long-term goals from your short-term impulses.
When it comes right down to it, the engine behind every single financial decision you will ever make is your mindset. It is your single greatest asset, worth more than any stock, any bond, or any piece of real estate you could ever own. So the real question is, are you truly investing in it?